My name is Kirk Stacey, I'm 36 and I'm a Bristol-based illustrator. Kirk's Pen is pretty much an umbrella title for the kind of commission work I do. Ink portraits, cartoons, novelty items. It's just me on my own with a pencil and an idea and you deliver. And the good thing about it, what I enjoy about it the most, is the challenge of every commission that comes in. Whatever anybody wants, I try to form a plan and I send that back to them and I say it's going to be done this way and it's going to be done within this time, and that's what I enjoy. My dad, who was an artist, my uncle was an artist, and when I went to school I had sort of, each tutor happened to be an art teacher, so it was always there. And the funny thing was, infant school, junior school, senior school, I had freedom to embrace that kind of talent that I had, and it wasn't so much they set you a task. You have freedom to do what you wanted to do. And if you've got that freedom, you can pull from inside yourself what's there and put it out. And then the teachers will look and say, oh, this is great, where does that come from? And sometimes you don't know where it comes from, it could be subliminal or whatever. But it's all, looking back, it's always been there. And it feels like, and it sounds like cheesy to say it, but it feels like this is what I'm meant to do. It feels right. I did spend years painting and decorating with my dad when I left school, but for me that was not rewarding because you're just painting white walls all day and it's so boring. So I used to just draw a portrait, and towards the end, you know, if someone was coming, I'd just paint over it quickly. So the work I do now is rewarding because each commission is different. Each commission is a challenge, and there's the buzz there. If you're doing the same thing over and over, it's boring. And I could never do a 9-to-5 job. I couldn't even do school at 9 to 3. I started basically stipple effect drawings, which is basically me drawing an outline, taking an ink pen and just sitting there just doing dots over and over to make up the tone and the shadow and that kind of thing. But that's how I started, and that was realistic type drawings. Now I don't do that because it's time consuming, so I just do basic line work. And I do music stars, film stars, people, everyone's different. So it's a kind of, that's my thing at the moment. I don't think I could go back to the stipple effect because it's too long. It's not that kind of thing. 15 years ago, say I was drawing that Lennon portrait, OCD was not as bad as it is now. So I could pretty much sit down, do exactly what I wanted, draw anything I wanted, and the whole idea of creating something was freedom. Now, I'd get an idea, but alongside that you get anxious over the idea. Why do that? Don't do that, that kind of thing. So the OCD is infused in my ideas. So going back a while, I would have an idea, I think, oh, that'd be great, and then that would trigger OCD, and it would find reason not to do that. And you think, well, what? This is crazy, why? And if you ignore that OCD, if you ignore that anxiety, it chases you. So when you sit down and pick up your pencil and your pen, you're doing your bit, it's hassling you, and you get so angry, like, oh, sorry, I forgot. So your goal is dead. Pretty much big heads and small bodies, and lots of humour. I guess that's my trademark, that's what I like doing. Someone once said to me, oh, I've seen your work, yeah, it's quite dark, isn't it? It's quite bleak. And I'm like, no, that's not my kind of thing. I'm not keen on landscapes, people, faces, novelty ideas, something that's just different. I've kind of honed that, and I've got my own ideas and own structure and way of doing things. So I guess it kind of stands out for itself if you find it on the web, Facebook, that kind of thing. So it's definitely a Kirk's Pen thing. So yeah, TV, music, movies. It's basically, if you like something, you'll have a crack at drawing it, or if you're a model maker, you make a model of your favourite superhero, that kind of thing. So it's being a fan of something, you do build something. I remember when I was younger, because I couldn't afford the toys that I wanted, I would make them out of cardboard. And my dad's friend used to frame pictures for a living, and he would meet up with his friend and he would bring home the offcuts of mount card and put them in the bag, and I must have been about 10 at the time, and just seeing all of the mount card in the bag, I'm like, wow, what can I build? What can I make? I can make that Ninja Turtle that I can't afford to buy, or I can make a TARDIS that I can, you know, big fan of Doctor Who, and I can't afford that, so I make it. So there's a kind of crafty side, excuse the pun, to what I do, and that has stuck with me ever since. I kind of keep myself to myself, really. I'm into what I do, and exhibitions kind of scare me, because I've had a few in the past, and there was an excitement at the beginning, like sit down, you plan it, you plan what you're going to show, how you're going to go about it, but now I kind of, for me they're all loss making. They were very exciting, but they're all loss makers, and I don't care if I never exhibit anything ever again out in shops and general exhibitions. Online stuff is fine, you can create your galleries and you can get the feedback and that kind of thing, but I shy away from exhibitions. They drive me up the wall, and it kind of, you know, my OCD kicks off, you know, as soon as I plan something, and so I'm not really fussed. And the art scene, each to their own. There are lots of people I'd like, and I always ask them, you know, what made you think of that? Why did you do that? That kind. I like that part of it, but I don't really connect most of it, and sometimes I just don't get it. You know, I do my thing, and I like my thing, and people like it, and that's it. I keep it at that level. A piece of cardboard, a pen, and an idea, and it's such a buzz, you know. And you do it, and put it out, and that's it. If people buy it and like it, and it's great, but then you're on to the next idea. You know, what can I do with that subject, that person? And it could drive you nuts, but I guess that's why I'm in it. I like the buzz of that feeling. Like, let's say, got an idea in your head for a portrait, you do it, you enjoy the idea, you enjoy doing it, and you enjoy the finished spectacle, article, and it looks back at you and it gives you that buzz, that feeling, and you can't buy that feeling, but people buy things to get that feeling. I've got to have the new phone, the new car, that kind of thing. But for me, it's self-generating, you know, the idea, creation, buzz, idea, and that's what keeps me going. That's it. But I'm not one to like preach that thing, say, yeah, this is amazing, I'm doing that kind of thing. No, it's just my own personal thing. It just goes round and round, and that's it.